return of the bulls. Could it be the return of the bulls? Once again, return of the bulls. Welcome everybody to another episode of Savage Cash stroke Savage Crypto. Here with me, your superhero of cryptocurrency, the Supoman. In today's episode, we are going to be exploring, are the bulls coming back? Is the bear period over for good? Well, not for good, but for now. Have we hit a bottom and are now on the way to recovering back to 20k Bitcoin and beyond, and $830 billion cryptocurrency and beyond? That's what we're going to be exploring in today's episode, plus a potentially hot ICO. So, if you're excited to learn about these items, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Now, and also if you haven't yet, subscribe to Team Supoman if you are wanting a cryptocurrency video on a daily basis, learning what's happening in the market, analysing what are the opportunities right now. You get it all with the Supoman. So, I look like I'm live. Let me just make sure that I can be heard. Yes, I can. So smash up those likes, people. Now, on Twitter, I asked, how would you like my video lengths from this point onwards? What is the ideal length that you'd prefer? And for the most part, most people said 30 minutes max, and then the second most popular option is 5 to 10 minutes. So I am going to try and keep this much shorter, and let me know what you think in the comments. Do you prefer longer videos or do you like the shorter videos? So smash in the comments what your opinion is. Now, the market cap has gone up by about 20 billion. Okay, 25 billion, in fact, since yesterday. So there has been a rally in cryptocurrency generally. Bitcoin has gotten right up from $7,000 to nearly $7,500, and most cryptocurrencies today are in the green. Now, what I will say is, if we have hit a bottom, is all over for buying time? Not necessarily. So, what I have noticed is because Bitcoin has gone up a whole $500, then the Satoshi value of a lot of these cryptocurrencies is as it was a couple of days ago. So, you know, so there's still a great opportunity for Satoshi buys, even though the fiat buys have gone right up. Let's have a look and see what's really been thriving in the last 24 hours. Verge has been thriving. Verge, this is amidst rumours of the partnership that is currently under wraps. It's probably going to be announced soon. I personally put a poll on last night saying, what's your favourite privacy coin? Verge was by far the most popular answer. You know, it's basically almost combined what everything else has scored. So people are really loving Verge. It's got a very strong community, and of course it has gone up a lot and was a good buy. A good privacy coin buy. Steem has also gone up, which is excellent for Steem. Lisk has gone up, having been a very high value coin, over $40, and then has dropped significantly from that point to well under $10, has grown quite a lot. Wax, Binance Coin continues to rally up because of, you know, all of the changes they're making. Walton Chain have also kind of gone into another league as well. They aren't just simply in this whole supply chain management, anti-counterfeit kind of niche. They are also working on a blockchain and kind of trying to be in the kind of one chain, kind of Ethereum type of cryptocurrencies, building cryptocurrencies. So yeah, so looking quite positive for those particular coins, and those are the reasons why. So have we hit a bottom? So we did hit quite a significant bottom. 240, who doesn't like a significant bottom? 243 billion this went down to. An amazing market cap. Absolutely brilliant for buying. But is this the bottom? Well, it may be, it might not be. What it boils down to, because look, it went down well underneath what was the potential floor for the cryptocurrency price, which exceeded expectations. Lots of people were saying, oh, this could hit 5k, 4k, 3k, 1k. There's all sorts of, you know, everybody's an armchair kind of critique right now. They all think they know, and most of the people making the more absurd predictions have probably been in the game for like a month and think they're an expert already. So we may have seen the floor. However, what this boils down to is having enough of a rally, enough of a correction to cancel out the potential of another drop. Okay, so what it's saying here on CoinDesk is Bitcoin must break 7,800 for a bull reversal. So for us to go back into kind of bullish momentum, have to break 7,800. I would go that this has to break kind of 9,000, because You know, cryptocurrency market went, well, Bitcoin went up to $12,000 and then sunk to half of its value. Even considering the fact that it had already dipped from 20 to 12, and people were saying, "Oh, this could be the recovery," and now it went down, it halved basically. So I would say that a significant valuation of Bitcoin would actually indicate a bull reversal. So I think this needs to go over 9-10,000 to actually mean, right, we're going back to recovery. I don't think that the recovery has been aggressive enough for it to actually signify that we're having a bull reversal. Okay, so we may still see that cryptocurrency has another drop. I did predict that once it hit this floor, it would go up and then down again. And I still maintain that unless it breaks through, smashes through this line here, and then the signs of a bear movement coming back could be cancelled out. So, to the news. So, John McAfee has actually come out and said that he charges, I think he's come out and said, he charges $105,000 per promotional cryptocurrency tweet. Okay, now I personally have never been much of a fan of John McAfee's shouts. In fact, I thought that he shouted out a load of shitcoins last year, and in fact I wasn't even aware he was still doing these promotional tweets. I stopped following them around about end of December time, so I wasn't even sure he's still doing them. But it just goes to show, how much can you trust somebody who's being paid to say something's great? I mean, this is why I don't do sponsored videos, because I don't want to give the impression something's great when I don't personally and honestly think it's great. So I would never do this, and it just goes to show that even though he's come out and said it, doesn't make it right, you know? What I would say is that he has been paid a hell of a lot of money. Look at that money. $105,000 for a flipping tweet. I mean, I do tweets all the goddamn time, and I don't get anything for it. You know what I mean? So, you know, he's getting paid so much money for a tweet. He's paid to say something's great. And as you can see, the things that he said were great were crap. Look at Electroneum. Look at Burst. Look at... There were a couple of other rubbish ones that he came out and said were great, and have just had a kind of short-term spike and then went down again. So just don't trust certain people in cryptocurrency. He follows me. I have a lot of respect for him. I think he's entertaining. But, you know, at the end of the day, he's charging. He's basically being paid to say something's great. So, you know, just because he said it doesn't make it any better. Going back to potential scams. So, Centra, a cryptocurrency that I spoke about last year, around about October time, as another one, a 10x competitor, a new debit card where you can actually spend your cryptocurrencies. Two of the co-founders have been arrested for it. And the reason they've been arrested was because of misleading investors. Okay, so they had misled investors about approval from Visa and MasterCard. So the SEC said in its complaint that the Centra team had never received approval from Visa and MasterCard and misled investors on several other counts as well. And also said that several of the executives listed on the Centra website were fictitious. Now, I do have a Centra card, never actually used it. I plan to use it, but I don't think I'm going to use it now. So, you know, there we are. So, just goes to show that you've really got to do really strong due diligence. And sometimes you can't get it right even when you do the due diligence. Because all you can do is use the information that is out there. And that may or may not be true. So, you know, but you have got to really do your due diligence. These guys said they were going to come out with a cryptocurrency eBay. I've not really heard much from them. In fact, there are a lot of cryptocurrencies that kind of go silent, you know, once they have done their ICO. Now, what else? So, in the emergence of cryptocurrencies in this rally, one of the top altcoins has been VeChain. VeChain is an anti-counterfeit supply chain management cryptocurrency and tool, and this has led to me actually coming online and reviewing this ICO, because there have been a ton of people that have been asking me to cover Seal. Seal is in that batch of supply chain kind of management, anti-counterfeit cryptocurrencies. It's joining that space that has been created by very, very well-known luminaries such as VeChain, Walton, Modem, Wabi, and what's the other one? Origin Trail. So I am now going to review it. Is this a potential big hitter? Is this going to be like Wabi, another big hitter, another big multiplier? Is this going to be like VeChain, a big success story in cryptocurrency? So I am going to be reviewing that right now. Now, I do want to preface this by saying I have not been paid a cent. I haven't even spoken to the guys in Seal. What I have done is my own research on this. So ultimately, this is completely my interpretation of the positives, the negatives, and my final rating as to whether I'm going to invest or not, and give you the information whether you should invest or not. Because like I said, there have been a lot of people that have been asking me to cover Seal. This one, a survey that I did, a poll I did on Twitter. So should I cover it? Yes, I'm going to cover it today. So let me just make sure that you're still with me, because we had some lagging problems yesterday. Right, 1.7k people watching. Smash up those likes, peeps. Smash up those likes. Let's see who's with us today. Check Deep Onion, Supo, man. Don't recognise any faces so far. Oh, Christine's here. Thank you, Christine. Hey to you too. Oh, it's that proof of weak hands. It's #1 deal. I haven't actually looked at that yet. People have been suggesting to look at it, but I haven't actually looked at it. Let's seriously address the movement that is currently proof of weak hands. Everybody needs to do your own research. Look at the code. I haven't looked at it, so I will promise to have a look at it. But in the interests... Oh, Barry Herbst is here. Thank you once again for your daily happy birthday celebratory comment. Anyway, what do you think of the jumper? Nice? Brings out my colour. Anyway, so let's cut to the chase, and let's now talk about Seal. Not to be confused with Zeller, which is another cryptocurrency I've spoken about, which is an infrastructure project. So what Seal is, in a nutshell, is a simple product authentication tool. Anti-counterfeit is really the niche that it belongs to in terms of cryptocurrency, but really what you do is you authenticate a product. Okay, so you go into a luxury brand shop, let's say Louis Vuitton, you see a Louis Vuitton bag, you can get your app, the Seal app, you can basically run the, well, I suppose it's, yeah, because they contain tags. So you basically place your phone near to the product, and then it will authenticate it. That is, in a nutshell, what they do. So this is not to be taken as financial advice. Do your own research ultimately, and use this to cross-reference with your research. So let's move on to the positives first. So what are the positives of Seal? Well, first of all, what they're looking to do is protect brands, luxury brands, well-known brands, the Nikes, the Gucci's, the Louis Vuittons, the Ray-Bans, and protect the customers as well, the people buying these products, from counterfeit goods, so basically a replica, or stolen goods. So it may be authentic, but it's been stolen. So it's protecting brands and customers from counterfeit and stolen goods in a nutshell. Now, how do they do this? This is with NFC chips, okay? So what happens is that the product has an NFC chip within it, and then what happens is you run the app over it. It will basically acknowledge that the NFC chip is inside, and it will say that it's an authentic item via the blockchain, okay? So the blockchain records the authentic items, and you scan them with the app. Very, very simple. Now, the difference between Seal and other cryptocurrencies like Walton and VeChain is the chips, okay? So typically RFID chips, radio frequency identification chips, are what is used for the supply chain management and anti-counterfeit solutions so far. Now, NFC is a different type of technology. It's relatively similar in that you scan something with an app and it will verify it, but the technology in itself is different. So with NFC chips, it's basically wireless transmission of data. Okay, so you just need to put your app next to the NFC chip, and it will transmit that information. Well, it will basically read off the blockchain and send that information to your phone. Okay, so that's how the NFC chip works. Now, it's meant to be more secure than RFID. Hence why a lot of people have come out and said that the technology is better. But this is very arguable. Okay, so you can look on the white paper and you can see the difference in how the chip works and what are the differences between that and RFID chips. So that is the difference. Now, what are they looking to reduce counterfeit goods in? Well, the primary market, so this is retailers, so for instance, if you go to not necessarily the high-end shops like the Harrods, like the Selfridges, like the big shops, the main shops, they typically have the real item. But if you go to, let's say, like a small boutique or something, and you see a Louis Vuitton bag, you can check whether that is actually real or fake. Okay, so that is primary. Secondary is more where the goods are sold much cheaper than they are in primary. So primary, you will probably be expected to pay, even for a fake good, similar what you'll pay for the authentic. That's how they kind of get away with it and make you think it's real because it's like the same price. In secondary, it's a bit like when you go to Spain and you've got some guy that's got this, I mean, let's face it, you're going to know it's fake. But they've got like a tray and they've got, I've got Gucci, I've got Rolex, I've got, Tag Heuer, I've got all of these. So you can say, oh yeah, that's probably real. Take it out, and you probably think that you're getting it. But they're secondary, so you tend to be paying a lot cheaper, but you can check whether it's real or not if the person selling it is actually saying, oh yeah, it's real, believe me, it's real. Even though you're paying like, 16th of the traditional price, it's real. So you can check primary, secondary, and make sure that it's not fake. You can also go second hand as well. So if you go on eBay and somebody's saying, oh yeah, this is a real Rolex watch, or these are real Ray-Ban glasses. I'm not sure about Ray-Ban glasses, but anyway, this is a real like Gucci bag. So you buy the Gucci bag, you can run the ID and you can see, right, nope, that's wrong. And also products and brands can do product recalls via the app. Okay, so if there have been problems with a particular product and they need to recall it back, that will be recorded on the blockchain and it will tell you on the app and it will say you need to give back your item or whatever. Okay, so far, so good. Now, as far as pain point is concerned, combined across a range of different pain points related to counterfeit goods, this is a $7.9 trillion pain point. Okay, so it's a $7.9 trillion problem being solved in the market. Okay, which Seal is now part of this solution provider. Now, what is also good about Seal is brands can set up their own app using the Seal backend. So Seal have created everything that is needed for the tags or chips to be able to communicate with the blockchain, send that over to the app. Okay, but brands can set up their own app using this back-end solution. So this is helping them create their own branded app that they can then, send to customers to use to make sure that goods that are, that are branded by them are fake or genuine. So this is good. It's not just using Seal. So if, let's say Louis Vuitton, they didn't want to say, right, yeah, use the Seal app and not our own app, they can create their own app using Seal's backend. So good solution so far. This is not going to alienate customers that have this branding issue. Now they are targeting luxury items first. Okay, so luxury like bags. This is like the designer stuff. Okay, so luxury items, stuff that you kind of, accessories that you carry on your person. But this technology can be expanded to food, pharmaceuticals, freight, automotive, and all this stuff down the line. However, they want to show proof of concept, make sure that the thing works first before they expand. Now, this is currently a $32 million market cap. Cheap as chips, really. 492 million circulating supply after ICO, and at about 6.5 cents per token. So this is 100 times less than VeChain, that's gone to about 3.5 billion market cap. So you can see there's a huge potential for multipliers. Now, advisors, their key advisor is a member of REACT, which is basically an anti-counterfeit alliance association. Okay, so that carries credibility in that they've got somebody who is at the senior end of the kind of, I suppose, the watchdog or body that is controlling anti-counterfeiting. Within their advisors, they've also got people that have worked at senior positions in Philips, in Nokia, and O'Neill. These are, a mixture of electronics and luxury brands. Now, the team have 10 in their core team and 6 advisors. Now, within their core team, they've got people that have worked for Microsoft, Deloitte, ABN AMRO Bank, but looking at the actual, what positions they've been and how this is relative to this industry, they're not really that relative, and some of these positions are kind of minor positions. Okay, so I'm going to touch more on that in a minute. However, although they've got some really good names within the core team, they aren't necessarily relevant to the value proposition of Seal. Now, their roadmap, they've got quite a long roadmap. The roadmaps takes you to about Q1 2021. Okay, and they've got two roadmaps, but mainly the technological roadmap. So they are going to be launching items with the NFC chips at Q3 2018. They're going to be trying for listings before that, so these are going to incrementally add value to the token. Then they are going to be creating and developing their own blockchain using research and development for Q1 2020, and they are going to be improving upon the NFC chips Q1 2021. So what's this? 3 years? 3-year roadmap attached to Seal's value proposition to basically make an all-encompassing value proposition that they own and completely is unique to the rest of the competition. So, all good so far? Let's now talk about the negatives. So, negatives of Seal. Weak core team in terms of expertise and background. Okay, so having looked at the team, I would be looking for people that have worked in this industry before, worked in anti-counterfeit, worked in luxury goods, worked maybe even for these brands, like the Nikes, like the Gucci's, like the, whatever, Ray-Ban or Tag Heuer or any of these. None of that. Okay, if you look at VeChain, the guy who is the CEO of VeChain is a former Louis Vuitton senior executive. So, completely different league in Seal. They just don't seem to have any of that credibility. They have got a few good names, but it's not really that relevant in terms of what they are delivering here. So, very weak core team. Now, they're not unique, nor a first mover. Okay, we've got tons of people now in this space. We've got IOTA, we've got Walt. Well, I'll talk about this more in a minute, but they're not unique and they haven't got that first mover advantage, which means growth is much slower, which means they can't put their stamp on this particular niche. They can't say, right, we are one of the key ones. They are almost in danger of being seen in the kind of graveyard of cryptocurrencies, which never really make it into the top 5. Okay, so going back to this, there's very high competition in this market. There's IOTA, there's VeChain, there's Modem, there's Walton, there's Wabi. All of these, there's T-Foods, there's Neurochain as well. A very high competition market. It's going to be very difficult to compete with the likes of these. And it almost looks as if, right, we're just making a Me Too product because these have already done so well. VeChain, Walton, Wabi. VeChain in particular is kind of like one of the most promising projects that's not an infrastructure coin. And it's almost as if, entrepreneurs kind of see, right, okay, great opportunity to make a business, put an idea down on paper, create a proof of concept, and become a massive multi-million dollar business. Okay, and that is opportunistic, potentially, and it could just leave them to being in a graveyard where loads of people give them a ton of their money to invest in with very little return at the end because they can never make it into the ranks of these guys. Okay, so it's a very high competition market. It's going to be very, very difficult to get any market share when these guys are already doing great work and have great partnerships. Which comes down to point number 4, adoption. This is going to lead to, what is going to actually lead to a higher valuation is adoption. This being actually used, brands actually using them and giving credibility to Seal. There's no confirmed brand partnerships. I think there are 2 that are unconfirmed and unknown. Nobody actually knows the details of these 2 partnerships. There are apparently 2 brands that are soon to be spoken about, but no one knows. These could be really, really small brands that people have never heard of that actually give no credibility to the brand. So without these confirmed brand partnerships, you almost think, well, what is giving the ability to make it a 100x coin? What is giving it the ability to compete with the likes of VeChain, who have already got PwC, Renault, BMW, Kuehne & Nagel, some really big names in the industries that they're targeting. And Seal have none of these. And then lastly, they've got an ultimate supply of 1.2 billion. That's huge. Okay, it's huge. So the 4.92 is the initial circulating supply, but over time there's going to be gradual dilution of the supply, and it's going, or certainly dilution of the token value, which means low risk, low reward down the line. Okay, so quite a strong and significant set of negatives there, which highly impact on the value proposition. So let's now go to my final rating. So my ratings are as follows. For team, I'm going to give these guys a 3. I think I'm being a bit generous. The reason why I'm giving them a 3 is because of the names and the associations. So their advisors are CEOs and prominent senior people from big brand names you will know. Okay, so that is one of the big reasons why they got a high valuation. Plus, having somebody that's on the React Anti-Counterfeit Alliance, that also gives them a deal of credibility. So that is why I'm kind of upgrading them to a 3-star team. Project-wise, I'm giving this a 3.5 star. I think the uniqueness is the NFC chips. However, having said that, I know that VeChain has recently made a partnership with a leading supplier of NFC chips. So they're not necessarily unique in the sense of NFC chips. Okay, but this does differentiate them from the people using RFID. So it's got more technology. It's a very simple to use verification or an authentication tool. So with that in mind, it's a relatively good project. So 3.5 for project. And so overall, I'm giving this a 3.25 out of 5-star rating, which is not bad. It's good. It's a good rating. But am I going to be investing? No. I invest in the ones that, well, I'm already invested in VeChain. I have been invested in VeChain since December. And it has delivered a lot of profits, and it's going to be delivering more and more down the line because these guys are the leaders. And even if they're not the leaders, Walton certainly are kind of snapping at their heels. But I just don't have that confidence that I normally have, that gut feeling that Seal have any chance in this area. I think that, like Wabi, when Wabi came out, people were saying, right, this is going to be a potential competitor to Walton, and they had a partnership with JD.com. Having said that, you know, they have just completely dive-bombed and flopped, okay? And that's Wabi, and that was just as, you know, RFID and supply chain, you know, tools were getting popular. Now they are already popular, and I just don't think that this can compete, and I think this may go into the graveyard. So it has got a 10x possible, particularly because they're developing their own technology. They're trying to make it better. They are trying to be different with NFC chips, and they have already got an MVP. However, I just don't think all of this is enough for them to be significant enough to make huge gains for investors. I think a 10x is probably the maximum I certainly see. Happy to be proved wrong, but that's where I see the potential gains. I think this is going to be very tough for these guys because this is largely a marketing team, a marketing focused team, rather than a team that are, you know, very, very, you know, experienced in the field that they are offering. So that is my opinion of the Seal network. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about Seal, because their ICO, well, their pre-ICO starts soon. I think it starts in like 11 days or something. So what are you guys saying? So basically, yes or no, yes or no. So the pre-ICO starts in 11 days. What are you guys thinking? I'll give you one BTC to shave your head. No way. My hair's my biggest asset. I'm like Samsung. My strength is in my hair. Yes, no, yes, no. No, 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 no. Somebody's saying great project, could already kind of earmark this for investment. There are still yeses, and I don't want to like completely smash these guys to pieces. I'm just being very real and saying, right, there comes a point where a particular niche is already dominated by a bunch, kind of 4 cryptocurrencies. Okay, 4 projects already. To break that, particularly when this isn't very niche, this is concentrating on luxury brands. That is VeChain are doing the exact same thing. And so it's going to be really difficult to compete with VeChain. So, you know, so you've just got to be kind of real and realistic. Lots of people get FOMO. Lots of people think, right, let's jump on this because this could be the next VeChain. But at the same time, some cryptocurrencies just never make it, okay? They just never make it, and this could be one of them. So, enough smashing on Seal. That's my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you agree, and also let me know in the comments what you think of the cryptocurrency market. Have we seen the end of the bears? Are we seeing the return of the bulls? Let me know. In the meantime, thank you very much. Thank you, Kathleen. Your smile's your best asset. Thank you. That's very nice. Smile for you. Ting. There we are. That's it. So I'm not going to spend too much longer on this, simply because of the fact that I'm trying to keep these down to an absolute minimum. keep the run time down to well under half an hour. So let me know if you prefer the shorter format. In the meantime, guys, thank you for joining me for today's episode of Savage Cash Stroke Savage Crypto, and I'll see you next time. It is lights out, all out.